It touches my heart, though. It's just like, it's awesome.
But even on yourself, you said that your music affects you. You took a sabbatical for a while. You stopped playing. How was that? Was that life-changing for you? Why did you stop playing, and why did you decide to come back?
That's a long.
Well, we have plenty of time.
I'll make it as short as I can. Yeah, it was around '98 when I did the longest tour of my career, and it was the most successful tour I've done. I think we did about 120 concerts.
Wow.
And we had been through the Taj Mahal, the Forbidden City, and those they take their toll. And I just decided just stop. I wanted to find out if there was another Yanni besides the Yanni who writes music. And
was there?
And yes. It took me a long time. It was very scary. And just like every brave young man, when they get scared, what do? They run home.
Of course they do.
So I ran to my house in Greece with Mom and Dad and stayed there long enough. I was going through pretty severe depression, too, at the time.
Did you know that you were going through depression at the time, or did you realize it after, that I think I was depressed?
Oh, I realized it because it's painful. It's like I lost the optimism for the future, which I've never felt that in my life. That scared me. I thought, okay, you're working too hard, the demands are too many, you've overdone it, you crossed the line. Me, I have to go up against the line.
You gotta push it.
And how are you gonna know where the line is unless you cross it?
That's a good point.
So I crossed it, and it hurt. But I stayed in Greece with my father, and we talked and talked and talked until I began waking up in the morning and feeling at peace. I wasn't in pain anymore when I woke up. No drugs. Didn't take a thing. Well, a little wine with my dad at night for dinner.
That's okay.
And
That's remarkable.
I just took it on. It's the best way to take pain. You take it head on, and it goes away faster.
Yeah, but it hurts.
Oh, yes. But remember the swimming?
Yes.
I can take it.
And the touring, by the way.
All of that. It's all related. If you really look at it as it's developed over a period of 30 years or 35 years, it's like it's all related in the end. And
trust me, we're all glad you came back from that sabbatical. And, but it's good that you recognized it, went back home. I love that.
It saved me. It actually, and then all of a sudden I traveled. I went back to the countries that I had toured, that I barely had seen. Because
right, you go in, you're in and out.
In and out. You don't get to even open and close the Panama Canal. Can you imagine that?
I can't believe you said no to that. I'm still upset. I still can't get my head wrapped around that.
I'll get around to it.
You promised. Okay, let's get to another live question. Nick from the USA. How do you feel about people in the music industry controlling your music?
I don't know exactly where the question. I'm sorry, I apologize, Nick. But controlling my music, meaning I don't understand.
Well, I would say, how do you feel about people in the music industry, the way that they are controlling music, or at least trying to control music? Maybe the way it's distributed.
Oh, all of that. There's not a whole lot I can do about it. Right now, I don't know if he's referring to the internet or, but I can tell you one thing, that most of my albums, after the first 2 or 3 albums, I think I had complete control over everything. The cover, the material, the record company never could say no. They could have an opinion, but...
But you're Yanni.
Yeah, that was... Back then, I wasn't Yanni. I was just starting, but I realized that I don't want anyone to go in there and start changing things. And I don't like people messing with my art. So I had total control over everything I've ever done. Once it leaves me, it's a baby, You send it out to the world, then it just goes out there and it's out of your hands.
I saw that with you, by the way, today, when you're like, okay, let's look at this angle, let's look at this, I mean, you know what you're doing, and then you go, okay, I'm not going to fuss anymore, the rest is with you guys, you know what you're doing. You relinquish control. I'm trying to learn how to do that. So I learned from you by that. I was like, wow, okay. But that was very insightful, by the way, just that whole process. Okay, we're going to go to another live question. And not quite sure who it's from. Victoria Trilling. No, this one came in from your Twitter, actually. Who is your favorite artist?
Oh God, I don't. I have a lot of favorite artists. I can't. I've got to tell you something. I love Led Zeppelin. I used to listen to Yes, and I loved Bach when I was a kid. I don't know why. 7, 8-year-old kid. I loved listening to Bach. Chopin, Beethoven, Mozart. I like him. He's okay.
Mozart's okay. Yeah, he's all right. I think the same.
But I even like country music. If it's done honestly, I like any music. It's just like, it has to be truthful though. I have to believe it. I don't care. I have the way I grew up, because I grew up in Greece, I was listening to such variety of music. So I learned to have an open mind about the sounds, the rhythms, everything. So.
Okay, do you have an iPod?
Ah,
I think that means no.
What do you think this is?
Well, okay, but I mean, let's say you're
the world's biggest iPod.
part of the world, right? Well, they've gotten much
like
smaller now. I just want to let you know. I
know
don't know.
there's about 3 or 4 of them around here.
Okay, who's on your iPod?
Wait,
See?
no, I'm not gonna do that. I've been asked that.
I tried, you guys. I tried.
I know, I have been asked that many times before. We have different machines here. Actually, it's a little more advanced than iPods. That talk all the way through the compound, anywhere you want, even on the boat.
Yeah.
It's a small boat, by the way. It's not. It's a little one.
Even on the boat, I don't know if you guys got that. Yeah.
It's not mine. It's my partner's. It's a little boat. But anything that we do in here and any music that we want, it's accessible instantly anywhere in the house, and you can use it through your iPhone. Now I told everybody I use an iPhone.
See?
Okay.
It's okay. It's okay. I think everyone has one at this point, right?
Right.
They're ruling the world. When you're here at the house and you're relaxing, do you always have music on?
No. I like silence sometimes. Especially at nights when it's time to retire. I need at least an hour or 2 hours by myself, quiet, no TV, no nothing, just sit. And then what happens is I'm not writing music, but it's the same process. I allow myself the thoughts come up, and any thought that comes in, I follow it to as much depth as it will take me until the next thought comes in. But it's one thought at a time. It's not a scatterbrain thing, this and that and this and that and the other. It's completely focused. Once in a while, music appears. And you can hear an entire composition come out. You don't have to play, it's just there, and you didn't ask it to come. Remember, you're not aware of what's happening. You're letting it be.
But when that happens at night, when you're trying to relax, do you have a pen and paper and do you write? Do you write it?
Yeah, there is always something right next to it, but a lot of times I try to avoid doing that.
Yeah.
The only time I do it is when we're getting close to a tour, like right now. Because if I have some ideas for the stage or things that we can do musically, and there's so many different possibilities that I have to keep some notes to remember. But most of the time, once you're on that stage, on that state, and it's related to music, I don't forget it. It's like the musical memory has increased over the years because it's just like
it's a muscle.
Yeah, you just use it and it just create more neurons, and here we go, psychology again.
I'll go back to the other thing. Gifted, I'll say it. All right, we're going to take another quick break, but we'll be right back. If you have any questions, just go to yanni.com and submit your questions. And I promise, when we come back from this break, we're going to answer the question. I said stash, and he's like, stash? Mustache. Is the mustache and the beard and the long hair, is it ever going to make a comeback? We'll be right back.
That's good.